Well, howdy, y'all. This is, well, this is not quite Losman. This is this is his little shoulder demon, Evil Los, and I am gonna hijack this little mini presentation of the weekly roundup, or the lazy roundup as he calls it. I don't know why he calls it that. I mean, he works too much anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some movies since I've preoccupied him on a screener. I'm going to take over for a few minutes and do my own little video because he takes all the credit for the movies and he never seems to give credit to his, to his shoulder demon or to his little minions that watch movies with him too. So I'm going to talk about some movies here. So what do we have today? Well, this past week there were a couple of movies we watched, and some interesting ones. We have one called St Agatha. Now, St Agatha is a interesting little film. It was one that I found on the streaming network, and it is a one of those movies that's based on kind of like true horror events, and that would be the way that Catholic Church treated young women back in the 1960s or pre 1960s. In that movie, you have a young woman who's sent to a convent because she had the audacity to get pregnant out of wedlock. So, of course, her family, being the wonderful people that they are, well, actually, it was her dad, decides that I can't handle you. You're uncontrollable. How dare you, get pregnant? How dare you date that loser guy? So basically, she gets sent to this basically this nunnery or this little convent, and basically she gets to experience the wonders of Catholic upbringing. Yeah, it's a pretty scary, tragic tale. It kind of reminded me of the Magdalene sisters and another recent movie called The Devil's Doorway. I mean, if anything, this is an example of real life horror. So, I mean, this was definitely a really creepy and terrifying movie. So, it's definitely one you want to check out. Okay, the other movie I checked out was an interesting one. It was a strange little movie I found on Netflix. It was called Get My Gun. It's an odd little movie. It's rape revenge of some sort. I guess you can call maybe slow burn rape revenge. You have a young lady, and she works as a maid, kind of a dead-end job, but she's content. She's okay with her her place. And, she makes a new friend, a new employee, and they play practical jokes on each other. Well, one practical joke goes a little too far, and, let's just say she ends up getting raped and fired on the same day. Yeah, how's that for a bad day? So the rest of the movie deals with her trying to figure out how she's going to, seek her revenge. And it's an interesting little movie. It's a little different. I mean, it's rape revenge, but it's not the kind of exploitation rape revenge you kind of see with, what's it, I Spit on Your Grave. It's a little more like revenge, but with less cool things like, being out in the desert and stuff. Okay, now the next movie I saw is one I've been really excited about. I've been really looking forward to this. I know I've been getting on the Losman about, getting this film because, come on, man, he's been watching too many giallo movies, and he needs to start watching, more contemporary horror movies. So, we got to watch Issa Lopez's Tigers Are Not Afraid. Now, that's an interesting movie. It is a real-life horror movie, and it deals with a group of orphans who are trying to survive in Mexico amidst the gang violence. And, of course, you have a young girl who makes a series of wishes. And let's just say that don't ever trust wishes, because they never turn out the way you intend. That was a fun one. It was a really great movie. It's very shocking. It's depressing, but it's an important movie because it is real life horror, and it does give you a perspective that you're not accustomed to. Now, of course, I finally got the Losman to go out and watch It. I mean, I've been bugging him all week about it. I don't know what was up his craw about it. Oh, it's only 3 hours long, and I don't know. I heard rumors about it not being good. I swear. There are times I need to remind him, hey, we watch all horror movies, even the shitty ones. So, went to go see It last night, and it was great. I enjoyed it. It had a great cast, had some humor in it for some reason, odd reason, but it was entertaining. Had some great Easter eggs. But more importantly, it was a pretty good way to have the group, confront Pennywise and deal with him. Now, of course, there you had the It miniseries that came on back in the mid to late '90s. This one was an improvement, better special effects, better actors, and generally a pretty good tale. So I mean, it was worth it. Not too bad. The 3 hours went along pretty well. Not too dragging like you would expect, but it wasn't too bad. Now, of course, the movie we saw today, a fun one. I convinced the Losman to go out and actually pay for an online movie. He has so many free online services. Sometimes I gotta like goad him into watching a movie, and also steal his beers. So I mean, it's one of the things I like to do. I like to drink Losman's beers. So we watched The Dead Don't Die. Now, this is an interesting little movie. It's a little black comedy, and features Bill Murray and Adam Driver, Chloe Sevigny. It was an odd little movie. It's a comedy, kind of a dark comedy. Deals with a small town having to contend with a little problem. Apparently, the dead have come back to life. So, it's a zombie movie, but it's a little different. It's not your Walking Dead or 28 Days Later. It's a little more comical, a little outrageous, a little goofy too. It was an interesting movie. It was fun, a little different. Not what I expected. Because I myself I prefer the darker, harder, scarier movies. Like the disturbing ones, the ones that really stick at your craw. Whereas Losman kind of like he's not too much into zombie movies these days. He thinks it's a tired format. I, on the other hand, enjoy them because it's all about the dead, and when you are celebrating the dead, you got to appreciate the Walking Dead among us. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out because I think I think the Losman's on to me, and he might decide to take this video back or kind of like shelve it. So before we go any further, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know I got myself a screener of Hell House 3, The Lake of Fire. So I'm gonna try to sneak that while sneak a watch while Losman's asleep, because that's always the best time to watch a movie late at night when no one knows. So I'll go ahead and put a review out there, or I'll ghostwrite a review for Losman, and we'll go ahead and get that going. So once again, this is Evil Los. Go ahead and signing out. Y'all have a spooky night.